named after Monty Shelton, the winningest driver of the annual Rose Cup race at Portland. The corner has seen chaos at the start, restarts, and mid-race. The chicane was put in for IndyCar before the first race in 1984, and since then, it has brought chaos to so many drivers in various disciplines. Now, Joe asked Scott Dixon about the challenges of the chicane.
The first corner, first lap, been pretty chaotic, but last year a pretty clean start. Any anticipation for this year, especially since it looks like the championship, it's really that battle between third place that seems to be the big one going on.
Yeah, I think the turn one situation is always hard to tell how it's going to go, right? It only takes one kind of mistake or one sort of mishap, and it can take out half the field or put us in a situation for reordering the cars. So I've been on both sides of it. I think it's fun. I think there was a lot of talk of getting rid of the chicane for the start, which I'm glad they didn't, because I think it's definitely one of the more intense parts for starts and restarts, which is a lot of fun for everybody. So just try and keep it clean, man. That's all you can try to do.
Now, last year we had a clean start, but it was for the first time after 3 years of first lap crashes. Alex and Ben, do you agree with Scott on keeping the chicane in the first lap?
I like it personally. I think what Scott Dixon said there is actually what I totally agree with him, because it gives a uniqueness to this track. It makes it more intense. And I don't know, I like part of the track because it just brings more an intensity. And it's like, if you mess up here, your race could be done before you even make the first corner. And I know it brings in some chaos. Some of the guys don't like it, but it's part of the track and you got to deal with it. So I think they should keep it for sure.
I've always been of the mindset that you should have the drivers adapt to the track, not adapt the track for the preferences of the drivers. And so I completely agree with Scott Dixon here. And I also want to point out, I know Joe and I have been out for the ARCA Menard Series West a couple of times. At this track, they don't use the chicane on the starts and the restarts. They had some trouble with that. The first year they went back in 2021, so they decided to abort that and just bypass the chicane on the starts and restarts starting in 2022, which they did again this year. But that's the ARCA Menard Series West. It's used as a development series. You have literal teenagers in that series who are trying to work their way up, just getting started in stock car racing, don't have very much experience. This is the NTT IndyCar series. It's the top level of American open wheel racing. These drivers can handle it. They should be able to make their way through the chicane. So I agree with Scott Dixon. Keep it there, and hopefully everybody gets through the first corner on the initial start, and we can have a good race from there on out.